Hey, it's Poppin' B. Purpok here, and welcome back to another episode of Race the Ramen, the show where I attempt to review something unscripted in the amount of time it takes to boil an instant ramen. And today we'll be taking a look at Death Come True, available now on iOS and Nintendo Switch, coming to all other platforms at a later date. And just for the record, there is a warning at the very beginning of this game that instructs you, since this game is such a narratively driven experience, not to spoil anything. So, to keep with that promise that they made me make as a player, I will not be showing any gameplay footage or revealing any plot information in this video, but I will be describing the mechanics and the positives and negatives as best I can. I will also be showing some different, more interesting footage to keep things interesting. Okay? Okay. Alright, we're gonna start the timer right now. Okay. So, Death Come True. This is the first game from studio Tookyo Games, that's Tokyo with an extra O. And they were founded by, among other people, the composer from Killer 7, No More Heroes, and Danganronpa, the Danganronpa series writer, and the Zero Escape series director, again, among others. So, very talented, interesting, narrative game and creepy atmosphere people coming together to make a very interesting little game. Death Come True is a narratively driven, which is basically short term for highly story-focused, very minimal gameplay type of game. It is a linear, movie-style, choose-your-own-adventure, horror, thriller, FMV game that does some interesting things with the fact that it isn't, in fact, a video game and plays around with its narrative based on these choices. It's difficult to go into any more detail than that without spoiling, so I won't. But I will say that when compared to the works of these people from the Zero Escape and Danganronpa series, it never really reaches the same heights as those, which might not be completely fair because Tokyo has a much smaller team, probably less of a budget than they had when they were working at Spike Chunsoft. So, there's limitations there. But I think they make up for it because it's still an interesting time. It's not nearly as good, if you ask me, as those other games, such as 999 or Danganronpa 2 or anything like that. But it plays around with its themes reasonably well in a contained environment and makes good use of what little it has. The editing and style of everything, as well as the shot composition and the actual photography, is quite nice, good, striking looking. I really liked the way that certain UIs changed with the narrative over time, and I also, just in general, liked the atmosphere. The little strange things that would change and every twist and turn in the path. Again, trying really hard not to spoil things. I'm also trying really hard not to run out of breath because I'm talking really fast because there's a lot to cover. Basically, to get down to brass tacks here, I have played a lot of games of a similar style to this one. A lot of narrative-driven, light gameplay games. And as far as those go, from a person who enjoys this kind of thing, this one's not the most amazing thing, but I can see this blowing you away if you're new to this stuff. At the same time, I really don't want to sound like this is a bad game, because it's not. It's pretty solid. It's just that I've seen certain things that it's done better, largely by the people that made it. I still recommend it. It's got a sort of movie night sort of quality to it. It's fun to enjoy in one long stretch. It takes about an hour and a half, 2 hours to go through one full Let's Play of it. But you can go through more if you want to find out more yourself, and there is some stuff to explore in it, so I'd say give it a chance if you want a good story. Wow, I don't know why, but that was kind of hard to do. I was running short on breath a lot. Whew! Hopefully that gives you a decent impression of what I think of the game. And I really don't want to put it down, but it's difficult to discuss at its own wish of not wanting to be spoiled. So I guess the best thing I can do is recommend that you go out and try it. It's not mind-blowing. I don't know if it'll change your life or anything. But it has a pretty solid story with some really nice visuals and some interesting meta-narrative discussion through its branching narrative gameplay. The stuff I've come to expect from these people, but maybe not quite as amazing as some of their past work. But at the very least I can say, if you like this game after you try it, and you should try it, then there's plenty of other games like it to get into. If you do like this, check out Zero Escape, check out Danganronpa. I think you'll enjoy it. And overall, I would give Death Come True A solid 7 out of 10. Again, it's well put together, it's enjoyable for what it is, and you can get a fair bit of value out of it if you really want to examine it and see if there's deeper meaning behind the themes that it does present. But for a little bit more money, you can get much longer, much deeper experiences in the form of the Zero Escape games and Danganronpa from the same people who made it. But again, Tookyo's first game, smaller team, smaller budget, and they're making something akin to their own original Danganronpa-esque concept with, I believe it's called Death March Club, supposedly set for some time later this year, so that should be interesting too. I'm going to keep my eyes on these guys and see if anything interesting comes out of it, other than a bunch more fruity pebble ladybugs. It'll make sense later. Kind of.
Hey guys, thanks for sticking out to the end of the video, I appreciate it a lot. If you like it, I've got a whole playlist of Race the Ramens on my channel, as well as other completely different videos if you want to check those out. If you want to keep up to date on projects I might be working on and videos I might be doing, feel free to follow me on Twitter at PerpBachPartyBus. I also have a Patreon, which I'll leave a link to in the description if you're into that sort of thing. Thank you so much again for sticking out to the end of the video. I will see you all next time, which is hopefully soon. Have a good night. Take care. Goodbye, guys.